So, like I was saying, back to raising 7 kids. Well, I had my first kid when I was 16. The interesting thing about that is when I had my daughter, when I had my son, I already knew what to do. I have a sister who raised me after my dad died when I was like 12. And she was a foster mom. So, she's had so many foster children over the years. So, it was easy. It was like a non-brainer. So, when I did have my kid, I already know what to do. Like, it was like second nature. It's funny because I used to have a dream when I was younger that I would have a lot of kids. I knew I was going to have a lot of kids, even when I was little. I thought it was going to be 6 boys. I didn't want any girls because of the things that I went through when I was younger. I didn't want none of my daughters to go through that. So I end up, having 4 girls and 3 boys. I'm a firm believer in life is what you make it. If you make your life hard, it's going to be hard. Meaning, if you put yourself in situations that are not good for you, and you wonder why things never work out for you, well, it's because of the choices that you've made. And I've always understood that even when I was younger. So my overall goal was to make sure that I was in my kids' life. So no matter what we went through, no matter what I went through, we went through it together. They could never say that my mom was not there. That would never ever be any kind of conversation out of any of my kids' mouth, because I've always been there their whole life. I didn't have a grandmother. There was no, big mama or grandma or auntie to send the kids to. I was raised, you have them, you raise them. And I'm thankful for that because it made me be responsible and have to be responsible for my kids. And I messed up. Oh yeah, I did a lot. I learned a lot of valuable lessons having my kids. When you have kids young, what people don't tell you or seem to not talk about is you grow with your kids, literally. So all the mistakes that you make with your kids, you guys make it together. Depending on how you was raised. Some people, it's not there anymore. Some people was raised with a mom, a dad, a grandmother, grandfather, a bunch of aunties and uncles. And, I wasn't raised like that. I was raised with a family, but it wasn't like that. It was different. But I'm grateful for every experience that I, encountered. I'm grateful for the fact that I kept my word to myself regarding, raising my kids and being a good mom to my kids and try to set the best example possible. Anything I've ever done, having kids, I really try my best to, it's always my kids' interest when I do something. Is it benefiting me? Is it benefiting the kids? Is it benefiting me? And when they get older, because people tend to feel like kids don't grow up. Kids grow up, duh. And people feel like the stuff that you do to kids or you say to kids, they forget. So it's a lot of things that I have said and I have done that I had to go back and reevaluate and apologize, for the things that I felt at that time was right. But then, as you grow, you do better. Now I know that it wasn't the right decision and it wasn't the right thing to do. So I have went back and be like, what, I do apologize for doing X, Y, Z, but to my defense, that's what I felt like. That's how I was raised, the way I was raised, you get out of line, you get a whipping. for real. And it wasn't just no whipping with no open hand like they say now. You know, it was a real get your ass beat whooping. You know, whether it's an extension cord, whether it's a shoe, whether it's a belt buckle. That's how I was raised. I got whooped a lot. You know, because I was a very angry kid growing up, and I didn't understand my emotions, and I didn't understand why I was so mad and angry. But as I got older and I reevaluated myself, I understood where those emotions were coming from and why I was so angry and mad all the time. You know, but you have to look in yourself. It's nothing somebody can tell you, I believe. I've never been in counseling or therapy or anything like that. It's just common sense. You know, why do I do the things I do? Why do I feel the way I feel? You know, and I ask myself questions a lot, and then I try to understand where I'm coming from and what I could do better to become a better person for me and my kids. If that makes sense. It makes sense to me. Now, I know you guys are wondering, like, well, how old is she? Well, I'm 39. I'm a Pisces. Pisces do it better. That's it. I mean, if you have kids and you're kind of confused and you're wondering, like, am I doing right? Am I doing wrong? You know, sometimes you have to time out yourself and think. And remember, their kids do grow up. And there are a lot of kids who have grown up due to what their parents have done to them, have became angry adults and bitter adults and never was able to deal with why they were the way they were. And if you don't want your kids to treat your kids how you would want to be treated, you know, talk to them. Communication is the best thing. I communicate so much, it's ridiculous. I'm nosy. I want to know what's going on, why you feel the way you feel, what happened. Like, I'm one of those parents. And it's good because it opens a room of communication and for you guys to be able to talk. And you cannot go in it being judgmental. Because if you go in it being judgmental, then 9 out of 10 are going to shut down or are not going to want to talk to you. So I would advise you to, you know, pace yourself and listen. And a lot of times with my kids, things that they have said, I didn't even want to hear. Like, oh my goodness. But I'm a firm believer, and I can't tell you how you feel. You know, I can't tell you how you feel. I'm not in your body. I don't know how you feeling. I'm not, you know, I'm not you. So don't assume. Don't go through life assuming what your kid is doing or what they should be doing, or you know how they're feeling, because you don't know until they tell you. You're not a mind reader, you know. But that's enough about that. You guys have a blessed day, and if you have any questions or, you know, or you want to, you know, whatever the case may be, just hit me up. Subscribe and like. That would be very nice. And you guys have a good day.